Good seeing you, Bryce.
Yeah,
How are
good
you?
seeing you in person. I'm
It's
doing
the
good.
first, yeah, because the last time we did it, it was in 2020, and it was it was socially the distance, and we did the Zoom interview, and you did great. So thank you.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
You survived the pandemic.
Absolutely.
Did you have any lessons that you learned from the pandemic?
I think I found myself a little bit more like getting back to family and realized family is really important to me. And so getting to spend that time kind of away from the whole, I don't know, just everything that was going on, it kind of gave me time to kind of reflect and kind of be closer with them. I know everyone has like a unique experience with how the pandemic went, but for me, it was kind of a positive thing to where we kind of just like, not hold up, but kind of just spent time at home and got to really get into that. And it was kind of more of a relaxed time to where I was like focused on training and just focused on being with family. And kind of built out of that. And once we came out of it, I kind of had one of my best seasons ever. And so I was very thankful for how it went for me. And
What are your memories from 2021?
From 2021, Tokyo it's the culmination of like a lot of hard work and everything to be there at that Olympics. And I think not to get out of it what I always pictured and dreamed of, to be there on a medal ceremony and be on a podium, I fell a little short, and so it stung a lot. And so it's always tough because like you have all these expectations of yourself, and I know where I should be and where I want to be, and to fall short of it sometimes it makes me hungry for more. And so I think this year I'm really focusing on, I know where I should be and I just need to make that happen. And I just don't want to fall short of where I believe I should be and like where my coach thinks we are. And it's tough balance of, I don't know, like living out those expectations.
And who are you coached by?
Michael Whittlesey.
And Michael coached you in college too.
Yes, sir. So been with him for I think almost 7 years now. So.
And you guys are in Lawrence?
Yes, sir. Still at the University of Kansas.
The 2022 season, you took the bronze medal at the World Indoor Champs. Talk to me about that race.
Yeah, so that was also great. I remember just going into that, like, all right, we get a shot at the World Indoor Championships. Not saying that everyone in the 800 field isn't there, but it's a little more relaxed of a field of who you might see at outdoor. And so it's like an opportunity, again, just like setting expectations for myself where I wanted to go there and win. I wanted to go get the gold medal.
Yeah.
And not saying that bronze medal is falling short, but it was an exciting moment, and it was incredible to finally get like a world medal on that stage. And so it was it was incredible to achieve that, but it's always just that like I saw myself going in of getting that gold. So I couldn't help but feel a little bit of a disappointment. And yeah, it's just, I've had a hard time like struggling with those battles of just the expectations, but I mean it's still an incredible moment. I think it was a stepping stone to where I truly want to be and just really making it happen to get more medals and with outdoor and everything.
You're competing against the Spaniard Garcia and then with youngster
Noah Cabet, yeah.
Had you run against Cabet before?
I do not believe so. I think that was the first time that I actually saw him in a race against each other, and so yeah, he's definitely young, and it'll be exciting and a little intimidating to see all these young guys keep coming up as we go along later into my career. And so it's always fun to see a new face, but yeah, he's definitely something special.
Talk to me about the U.S. champs and the world champs last year.
Another tough time, and that's kind of like where, I mean, I will get into it with how this indoor U.S. champs this year happened out, but from my perspective, I always like to run a clean race, and so I'm never wanting to get in anyone's way, almost to the point where like I'm courteous to others. Like if someone is clearly outperforming me and they're coming up and are going to get over, I'll almost give them the right away. And so I try not to get jumbled up. I try to like stay away from it. And so it kind of really throws me off my game when someone else is throwing elbows or even egregiously pushing out. And so I've had tough times with that. And so starting back from that World Championships in Eugene, I mean, I felt like there was something there to where I was absolutely impeded and didn't get to run the race that I wanted to be running, in a fair race almost. And so that really stuck with me. I think that was a huge moment of where I just need to learn to overcome those things and never get thrown out of a race. And I think it stuck in my mind a little more than it should have, because then it became a slightly reoccurring occurrence, because then at Millrose this year it kind of came up again, and absolutely not the reaction I want to see from myself or ever. Just I kind of gave up on the race, and I felt like I was impeded again, not fairly, but it was tough. It's a tough moment, so I am slowly overcoming that, and don't really want to see that happen again.
What did your coach tell you about? How did your coach talk to you about the World Championships experience? And the way that I would edit it is, I see you as almost polite. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember the first time I got beat up in a 10,000 when guys were kidney punching me, and my coach is standing off the side of the track, and he just goes like this, and it was the difference between moving on and not. Will we see you if you need? It's not something that you want to do, but if you need to be physical, will you be physical in a race? Or is it just still not something that you see as part of your demeanor?
I feel like it's not a part of my demeanor. Going into 800, I think it's a race to the finish line, almost to we should be relying on our speed and it's a foot race. It's not necessarily, the 800 is kind of naturally physical with how we cut in and really get kind of jumbled up with each other. I just don't feel myself fighting back. I think I would try to take that and overcome it. But it is always in my mind to where when I'm passing someone, I'm like, okay, I don't want to get over too early. I don't want to trip up with them, and it is tough. My coach does have kind of a different philosophy for it. Not that he's wanting me to be more aggressive.
Sure.
But he just says you can't let that stuff get to you. And I do become frustrated from a little bit, just because I want it to be a clean race and I want it to be a fair race. It's tough to deal with sometimes, and it's definitely not in my demeanor to push back or fight back. And so
talk to me about the USATF indoors this season, because on TV it was a great race, just so you know. I thought the way you handled yourself and the way that you came off the turn and how you moved was awesome, and it was great television.
Yeah.
It looked to me like you were saying something. I didn't know if you were talking to yourself, if you were giving Isaiah a little bit of trouble. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so nothing verbally ever came from me. I never had a thought to say anything.
Okay.
What the situation is I felt really comfortable. I was coming up, I think I've had that in the past race, where I'm going to be feeling really comfortable on that straightaway, and I'm right there and there. I knew I could go for the line, and Isaiah looked like he was locking up. And I think it's kind of natural when you feel someone coming up on your shoulder to start edging out to where okay, maybe if I push out, I can kind of block him a little bit. I think he pushed out more to lane 2 than he needed to, and kind of dropped his arm a little bit. And so my natural reaction is to drop my arm too, so it doesn't get in the way. And me and Isaiah, we've roomed together on world teams before, and so I feel like there's a relationship there.
Yeah.
And so when he did kind of push out into lane 2 and kind of not wanting me to get by, I just looked over, I'm kind of gave him a smile and okay, and just kept running. And so that was the interaction. And so that's what happened.
When are we going to see you open outdoors?
That is still trying to figure out. So I'm from Texas originally. I think opening up the Texas relays here at the end of the month is definitely a goal of mine, but we'll see how my coach wants to do the progression, because it's always a back and forth where, he trains me more distance oriented for an 800, and so he's like, I want to see you in a mile this early in the season, and so I'll do a mile, coach, but I'm more comfortable in the 800, and so it's kind of a dialogue right now.
What are your goals for 2023?
I think we have a lot of opportunity. We have Budapest coming up, and I've been at this stage before, and going back to the expectations, I absolutely see myself on the podium at the world stage. Going into my pro career immediately, I was 4th place in Doha, and so it's tough, because at that point my career had always just been a progression from achieve one thing and it just keeps going up and up and up. We had a little bit of setbacks here, and so I want to get back onto that progression, and I absolutely see myself going after the medals if we do everything right and and make it happen and see where I think I should be.
Bryce Hoppel, thank you very much. This is Larry Eater with RunBlogRun. We're with Bryce Hoppel. He is the 2022 World Indoor Bronze Medalist, NCAA champion, broke Jim Ryan's record. In 2023, he is focused on Budapest.
Absolutely.